I don't see a countdown. You see a countdown?
Yeah, it just
We are
finished. So it
live.
says we're live.
Awesome. I'm excited. What's today? Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, voting day.
Tuesday, election day. I hope people went out there and exercised their right to vote. It's an important day today, or last week if you did the early bird.
There you go.
Well, this is
What's
exciting.
your style? Are you more like an early voter, or do you like to wait to the day of, or you just
Well,
support?
luckily, I have a great village because I would like to be an early bird, but I most of the time forget. However, once I told my neighbor that I always forget, she now reminds me to vote early so I don't
There
have to wait in the lines.
you
So
Okay.
now I'm an early voter. What about you?
Listen, I'm one of those who exercises his right to vote at the county levels, and so for me, I have to do things early and also work with the local politicians that are here that support at the neighborhood level, the city level. And so I'm not sure if you know, I'm with in Ponce Highland, and so I get to work with my folks here locally, and I enjoy that aspect of it.
Awesome. I did not know that. Look at you dropping all these little nuggets about yourself.
Just do a little something, something every now and then,
Okay,
while
I
I
be choosing.
enjoy
Look,
being
look. I don't even
outdoors.
know how much greatness I be choosing out there in the world, but that's okay. Let it keep raining greatness. I'm good with that. Let it keep raining
Yes,
greatness.
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So, all right. Hey, 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 social media world. It's Shantae here. I am the executive director of Melanated Cares Foundation and one of three co owners of Melanated Campout. Now, listen, I know y'all have been waiting and waiting and waiting to know what's up with Melanated Cares, Melanated Camp Out. And, I decided that I'm going to come on this live and invite some cool guests to tell you, not just from me, but from everybody's mouth. So, tonight, we have a great gentleman that I had the pleasure of meeting, and he's done some awesome work for us with the melanated camp out with his I know everybody saw him at this past camp out. I call him Mr. Earth, but some of you all may know him as the coconut man or the drone man.
Oh, what else?
All things but I call him Mr. Earth because I feel like you embody everything that is good about the earth, so that's why I call you Mr. Earth. From your mindset, your thoughts about wellness, with your body, mind, and soul, with that, and then how you connect with nature and how you connect with other people. I think Mr. Earth is appropriate title. So until you tell me to stop calling you that, you will forever be known as Yusuf, aka Mr. Earth to me.
Listen, I receive it, Mr. Earth. As a water sign of Cancer, it's like I do enjoy being in the water. I do enjoy being on the earth. And so I receive this. That's how you see me, Shantae. I'll take it. Um, yeah, first and foremost, thank you everyone for being here. I can't exactly see who's all in the chat, but if you're there, just feel free to drop in where you're coming in from. Let me know what city you're in, what state. Let me know who's out there. Who's out there. But I am Yusuf Corley. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. 1 month from today will mark my 3-year anniversary, y'all. I can't believe it. Time has literally flown by. Um, and it hasn't always been like a smooth transition. But what I will say though, Shantae, and those of you who are watching, the last year, 11 months ago, I set a goal to do 11 or 52 new hiking trails this year. And because I was always just in the Atlanta area, focused between here and Ponce City Market, and not really exploring much outside of Atlanta. So I'm like, Georgia's a really beautiful state. I want to get out and explore more, not just be tied to just the Atlanta area. And so in doing that, I had a chance to see an amazing ad on social media about melanated campout, and There was tons of people, and Shante just dropped off, but I'll continue to share the story. There was tons of people who were going out to camp outdoors, 600 people. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm hosting and facilitating retreats and events locally, domestically, and abroad. And I ain't seen this 600 melanated people out on the land in South Georgia and right outside of Cordell. I'm like, hey, I don't know what y'all need support with or help with, but I got to be there. How can I be there? And so I went out. Um, and had the most amazing time. And as Shante mentioned, can be known as the coconut guy, the juice guy, the drone guy. However you choose to see me, that's great. But yeah, I love camping. I love being outdoors. Saying this pathway of going to do 52 new hikes this year has now got me on hike number 55, which I completed today at Sewanee Creek Park. And yeah, I'm just really having a blast of doing the things that I enjoy. So thank you for having me here. And listen, if Shantae's not back yet, 'cause I think she got disconnected and she's trying to reconnect, which is all good. Sometimes technology be doing technology things on this full moon that we got going on out there. So, just bear with us. But if you haven't done so already, be sure to drop in where you're joining in from the chat. And also let me know if y'all have any questions for us as well. So Shantae, welcome back. I just finished doing my introduction.
Thank you, thank you. Give me a mic check. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, this is why I am going to knight you as the co-host. So if I should drop again, you should carry on the torch.
All
And
right,
your
I could
duty
do
will
that.
be to talk all things empowerment, especially when it comes to Camp Empower Him for the boys. Well, thank you, Yusuf, for telling us about, I could hear you a little bit, about your journey and your hikes and all the things that you do in nature. I have a question for you though. What was the first thing that came to mind when I placed a call to you and asked you to be a mentor?
Yeah. Well, listen, before we even go there, Shante, can you do me a favor? Because there might be some people who are joining from my audience who may not be
Okay,
familiar with Melanated Cares and even what the event Empower Him is about. So can you just do like a brief overview just to
that
share
is
what that's about? And
great.
then also we gotta let them know what the goal is. Like, why are we doing this call? What's the goal?
That's right. Thank you for keeping me on track. This is why I knighted you co-host. See,
We
I
in
know
this.
what
We
I'm
in here.
doing when I knight people. Okay, so great intro, Yusuf. Yes, Melanated Cares Foundation. We were founded roughly about 3 years ago. um, by the owners of Melanated Campout. And as we grew our for profit business and we realized all the healing that we were facilitating, we realized that we could have a bigger impact in the community. So we created our nonprofit. So we do it under a couple of key pillars. One is youth advocacy. Another one is homeless awareness. Another one is mental health awareness, which we launched this year with our wellness coach, Deidre Bostick, a Black men's mental health piece. And then, of course, we still do and foster support for our military vets. So, with that said, we've done a lot of different things from giving out scholarships. This year, we're giving out 4 scholarships this year. We're also, this past camping event, we sponsored 6 military vets and their guests to attend. We well, raising money for this boys camp. In fact, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to tell everybody, if you go to melanatedcampout.com and hit the Melanated Cares tab on there, you can see a little bit more about our impact and what we're doing in the community, from coat drives to helping with STEM camps to at-risk girls camps. Now we're doing the at-risk boys camp, which is what we're doing today. This is what we're going to talk about today. So to give y'all some context, back in June, we were asked by the Smart Girls program of DeKalb County to facilitate a girls' camp. We had 21 girls that did not want to come with us outside. And when I tell you they arrived with attitudes on that Saturday with their makeup and line lashes, and it was like this was not their scene. By Sunday, those girls did not want to leave. And I get it. Because one of the things that I am prideful and that I am grateful is for the support volunteers and staff that we had. The way they poured into those girls. And it wasn't just lecturer to student, it was more of a, I'm going to immerse. Everybody's going to be immersed into this experience. Everybody is going to have fun. We're all going to talk and share some of our vulnerabilities. We're all going to talk about our art, our creativity side, our fun side. We had water guns, and it was bucket challenges and volleyball. It was just all things just fun. But in the midst of that, we were able to have, because we allow a lot of the guard to come down, we were able to build rapport enough where the girls felt comfortable in having discussions. And imagine during that time, they got to see women represented in various different areas, from the security team to their probation officers, to the staff, to the DJ, to the photographer, videographer, to the camp counselors, to the people who were facilitating the fishing and the artful expressions and the cooking workshops, and even the fire building. Like, they were able to see women owning their power and showing unification through fellowship. They were able to see all of that. And by us demonstrating that, we saw a lot of the girls. I was thinking it was going to become cliquish, but the way that they embraced all the girls, even the ones that was a little bit introverted, it was just an amazing thing to see. And so fast forward, we realized that we did a great thing with the girls. And then it was like, well, what are we going to do for the boys? And that call to action was, well, okay, look, we can't have this big network of camp cousins. And I'm also in the stepping and dance community too. I can't have this big network and not pull into that network. And so, of course, this first time, since it's the inaugural event for Camp Empower Him, part of the Camp Empowerment series, I tapped the shoulders of a few men that I knew were just amazing people. Just by their energy and spirit alone, they're amazing. And then when you start to peel back the layers and you start to realize, oh my God, I didn't know today that he was doing 51 hiking trails. So like, as you start to have these discussions, you realize that you have like these amazing people in your network. And so now I have these great mentors. The only thing I need now is the money. I need the money, Yusuf. I need the money. Let me tell you, I need the money because we are getting the boys warm clothing, sweatshirts, coats for those who may need them. We're providing them with sleeping bags. They're going to provide their meals. They're going to have different activities throughout the weekend. So they're going to be doing fishing. So their reels, they bait and tackle. They're going to be setting up tents. So all their camping equipment that they'll be setting up. There will be doing artful expression. So we have a lot of our campers that are rising rappers or poets, or just want to express themselves through their art. So we're going to allow them to do that. And what's even cool about that is we'll let them showcase it. But we want to provide those supplies. I don't want them to come and feel like, because they don't have the financial means, that they can't show their talents and be great this weekend. And so I'm knocking at the door. Jocelyn like to say, pass the collection plate, whatever that is. But I want to show these boys that we value them, and then we're not just about lip service. We're about real service. And through our good deeds, through the great mentors that we have on deck, the men who showed up that are rising up, I appreciate all of you who done that for me. Starting with you, Yusuf. I know you kicking off I'm going to ask each of the mentors to kind of hang with me for a couple of these lives, but I am always excited when I pick up the call, and you never tell me no. So I'm not going to try my luck, but I know that you never tell me no. And so I just appreciate the energy and enthusiasm you have for these kids, all the insight that you've given me, because I know that you yourself have done a lot in when it comes to youth advocacy and youth programs. So I'm going to pause because I've been talking a lot. But before I ask you some questions, if you've been to any melanated cares or any melanated camp out, say yes. Put yes in the comments so I can see if you've been. And if you have donated already, say yes.
That's what
And
I'm talking about.
my business partner and board member had just dropped the link. So it's givebutter.com/camp empowerment. So make sure you go ahead and make a donation. We're going to have a goal. I'll just set a goal. The goal for tonight, I want to raise $500 by tonight, by the end of the night, or let's say by tomorrow morning. And then by the end of the week, I like to raise $2,000 by the end of the week. So can y'all help me with this? That's my pledge, Yusuf. That's Melanated Cares. We do what we do. We get these boys out here because we want to show them that they're valued and their potential is endless, and they're not their past circumstances. That their futures is not has not been written, and they are the conductor of that future. And so we're just going to continue to help give them tools with that. So with that said, Yusuf, little birdie told me that you've done a lot with some youth. So can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and where'd your experience come from?
Yeah, absolutely. You know me, I'm always like passing the ball back and forth, right? But I do want to just share, if y'all haven't done so already, just check out that givebutter.com/camp empowerment. What I really appreciate is that, the leaders such as Shante, Jocelyn, and Kayla do such an amazing job of putting together clear and concise packages that share like what your money is going towards. So $75, helps to make sure everyone gets fed. Right at the base minimum, let's make sure our young men, the boys, they have food, they have their snacks. Because I know how I am when I'm
Yeah.
out there in nature. I'd be having my mangoes with me. I have my coconuts, right? So I was like, hey, let's not have to worry about food or even like pinching pennies with anything. Let's have a fun and abundant experience. So the link that's provided below will at least give you an overview of what you can expect, and even know and also know where your money's going towards. Because while it can be inexpensive compared to like going on renting out a hotel for like 50 rooms, right? You can be out on someone's on some acres and pitch tents. It does cost some startup costs to get things going, to get the videographers, help support with the volunteers, and just helping to move our young men and boys out in a easeful way. So be sure to check out the link. But with that, what got me into mentorship? Uh, you know, Back in my youngin days, I'll say that. I still feel really young. I'm 38 years old, but I
Ah,
still,
yeah, you're pretty young. That's pretty
yeah,
young.
no, I feel like I have a really young soul, and but again, I grew up in Winter Park, Florida, and so shout out Central Florida, and
Florida.
I
Drop a comment if
always
you're from Florida in there for me.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
if you're in from Florida, man, definitely let me know. Let me know where y'all coming in from. But I always saw value in spaces like boys and girls clubs and different spaces where the youth can go play, and there's like outside of the tutelage of like parental figures. Um, and also just like to be yourself, right? To have fun, to embrace. For now, for me, it's the inner child, but let the child like just have their space to be as loud as they want without someone saying, "Oh, you got to
Yes.
be quiet," or calm down, blah blah blah. As that you can see, I'm pretty rowdy. It's like I be causing trouble, but I don't think I'm causing trouble. I'm just being myself. And anyway, I share all to say like what got me into the mentor space is I needed my own mentorship, and I saw how much of a value it was for me to have a mentor to show me the ropes in like the business realm, to show me the ropes of like the sports realm and how to stand in front of a audience or stand in front of a interview panel, and just give me some tips and tricks on how they work through it. Right, I learned through the experiences of others if I don't have the experience
Yeah.
myself. And when hearing people share about their lived experience by what they went through, as opposed to, hey, do what this book said, and in 5 days you'll learn this and you'll be an expert. Where I'm like, well, what about if it didn't work, right? And being able to go the extra level deeper. And so, for me, having spaces such as like I'm using the Boys and Girls Club because that was something that was very much present for me in my youth. But just having these spaces, these outlets that I could share what's present with me and around other youth and other adults that weren't necessarily my parents or a parental figures that may have better ears to hear what I have to say, even if I don't have like the proper words to articulate it. And that's always felt important for me. Back in 2020, during the shutdown, I felt very much isolated. You know, I wasn't going into I was in the corporate realm, so I wasn't going to the corporate office. And it actually was quite therapeutic for me. I didn't realize how um, draining it was for me to just be in this like a corporate chair every day. And this is just me sharing my experience. But however, being at home and not being able to go out anywhere, I tapped into a online platform for a men's training organization, and I ended up becoming a lead in this men's training organization. And they had a youth component that did youth mentorship. And so for me, I'm like, oh wait, I talked about this boys and girls club and I want to be able to
Yeah.
invest in aspects like this, but I have no idea how to do it. And I know with going with school systems, you need to be vetted, which is important, right? You need to get background checks, be vetted, and then also have programs. And typically, you need to have experience in all these fields before you can go in and do it. And for me, it's like, okay, I know I have this background in finance. I've traveled the world. I love juicing, and I know the aspects that's important to it. But I don't have a experience or a curriculum that I can actively teach young men, young women, or anyone. So I need to get the foundational resources. And so joining this youth program as a mentor, we had 6-week cohorts where we talked about feelings. Started off with the feeling circle and kind of going through that. And what was beautiful about it, Shantae, was we started off with building rapport. So as you were sharing about the Empower Her, you guys started off with like playing, and some people never really even wanted to go camping. And then towards the end of the experience, everyone enjoyed themselves and had a great time. And
Yes.
you could see aspects of people opening up. And so these 6-week cohorts uh, were beautiful because it allowed us not only to build a rapport, but also to have spaces to where we could drop it a little bit deeper outside of the surface level. And then doing that on a virtual container via Zoom calls per se. We then met in person in the desert in California and did a 2-day camping experience, which is a lot of fun activities that we'll be doing during our Melanated Cares / Empower Him program.
Yes, awesome, awesome. Look, every time I get to hear you dive into your journey, I learn more and more stuff about you. That's what's important when we talk about making meaningful connections and really listening and fellowshipping. So I appreciate you, Yusuf, for that. Now, let me ask you this. I got a couple of things that are happening with this boy camp. Now, one of the things they're going to be doing is, you know how to fish because I heard you talking about juicing. What's your fishing skills look like?
Listen. I'm from Florida, y'all. So Floridians know how to fish. I am not one of those Floridians. I'm not one of those Floridians. Listen, I have a story where it wasn't the first time I held a fishing pole, but I had the line and a hook, and I just threw it out, and it caught me in the back. I was like, I was the fish. I was the fish. Needless to say, I am not proficient in fishing, but I do have a basic level skill set. Like if I had to go out and make it happen, I can hook the bait to the line. I know where to go, where to fish. So I have enough to tell someone they're doing it wrong, but I may not be able to say you're doing it completely right. So I have a basic level skill set in fishing.
Okay. So don't count on you to catch my dinner. Got it. I can
I'll
count
pick
on you
it
to
from the
juice for me,
trees.
though. You can juice for
You
me,
know, what I'm
though.
saying?
You juice for
I'm
me
gonna
every
pick it from the
day.
trees.
All right, all right, all right. If anybody's watching this fishing, drop it in that say that you're an angler or you're an intermediate fisher. Let me just put fisherman. Did you put fisherman? The proper term is angler. If you're an angler, drop it in the chat.
See,
Also, do me a solid. Everybody help share this live. I see a couple people sharing. I can't see all the comments or people on. So I still want y'all to go ahead and push this message out to everyone. So please share on your pages. And more importantly, please help and donate. It's givebutter.com /camp empowerment, which is attached to this live.
I do
So
wanna
we already
highlight
heard your
Terrence in the chat real quick, because he says he loves the
oh
initiative.
TJ.
Yeah, he's like, "Man,
Yes,
he's so bad he
TJ.
can't make it this time, but he's really excited about what we're doing." So, thank you,
Oh
TJ,
yeah, and
for the
TJ's
shout
going
out.
to Ghana. So he's going to teach dance. So TJ is our line dance instructor
I remember
for
him, yeah.
Melanie Camp Out. He's been rocking solid with us for the past 6 years. And he too, I should call him Mr. Earth too. But he's very health conscious too. I know he's vegan, and he's always inviting me over to his house for bonfires, and I'm just excited about his journey to the motherland and have that great experience and to share his talents over there. So TJ, you will be missed, but I know you're gonna do awesome work over there, and thank you for shouting us out here too. All right. So we have fishing that's going on at camp. We have, I'm so shout out to James Carter, Ian, and Mike, who are going to be leading the fishing. And we're also going to have, I think it's really cool because as we start talking about survival training, we have a gentleman called Exodus that's going to be doing water filtration. So just seeing the kids being able to use their hands and then incorporating STEM skills in this part of the process, I'm just really excited about that. I'm excited where they get to see science at work.
Wait a
So
minute.
science, not just a theory, but science at work.
Water
So
filtration, I mean, I don't know if you have all the details, but is it they're gonna have, like, some type of device that they put into the water and it helps to filtrate it?
he's gonna do well. More importantly, he's gonna show how to use consumable things that we have around our in our environment today. So it doesn't require a whole lot of extra stuff, but he's going to show um, using, water bottle, using some charcoal, using the different rocks. So he's going to show them how to do this process in a way that you can almost get these stuff it's pretty accessible. So I'm just really excited for these kids to be able to, like I said, put science to work. And he just sent me that shopping list today for 25 kids. So guess what I need y'all to do too? Go ahead and make a donation. But we're also going to have what I think is a great concept. We're calling it right now. The name is called Fresh Basics, and essentially during that time, we're going to have another TJ. His name is Theron James. He's going to be with our boys, and he's going to talk about the journey into manhood and all the things you need to do to care for yourself and how you represent yourself. So I'm excited about that. And then the support team, people like Yusuf, and I don't want to call everybody because then I might miss names, but Yusuf and Ron and Courtney and Keith and
Look at you, we had to start calling
Troy.
out names.
Yeah, I did. Michael Corleone. So we got all these people who are going to come in to help support in these areas. And I the way that I'm envisioning for it is going to be like the barbershop style because I hate being lectured to. So I know if I hate being lectured to, I know these kids probably like hate being lectured to. So the way we're going to do it, I want to pay homage back to this barbershop style nostalgia. So we're actually going to have one or two people who are going to be cutting hair for those who have gotten parental permission to get their hair cut. They're going to be talked to about personal hygiene, letting them ask questions about personal hygiene. They'll get personal hygiene kits. What I also think is going to be cool is just how do you represent yourself when it comes to first impressions? Because, like people say, after you done made an impression, it's hard to change that impression. So, I'm just excited about the caliber of men that we have coming to do this. And of course, Shantae and her craziness are always going to have other crazy stuff like the kickball game. And I want you men to do the TikTok challenge. So it'll be the kids versus the adults. We're going to let them do the talent showcase because, like I said, we have inspiring rappers, poets, artists. So this is so much talent that's there. And we want to give them the space to feel safe and to be creative. And I think we are going to accomplish that because we have some amazing people here. So, but that's what I'm excited about. Now, Yusuf, what do you think? What would you say is the the thing that you're most excited about this experience.
So many things, but one thing I want to really touch upon, Shanti, that you shared is that I'm really grateful and excited that it's not a like a lecturing experience because listen, y'all, I was a troublemaker in school. There's something about
You,
like sit down, be
Mr.
still, be
Earth?
quiet, right? It's like listen, it's like, wait a minute, you just fed me this food from this cafeteria and now I gotta go back to class and not move. Like I gotta move this energy, right? And then like, sharing things, it was really boring to me. Right. And I feel like I understood everything pretty quickly, or in times I didn't, or I just didn't care about it. And so I'm always getting in trouble, getting written up. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
being I'm getting in trouble or criticized for having to be here in this space talking about things I don't care about. And
Right.
so to have a space and an outlet where we are inviting the young men, the boys in for them to share their experience if they want. If not, that is completely fine. And having avenues such as if you want to go fishing, you can go fishing. If you want to, touch base with TJ as he talks about, the journey into manhood, also okay, right? If you want to do the TikTok dance challenges, I mean, just let you know, whoever's on my team, you're gonna win. So just be
Ah, is
sure,
that right?
yeah, just be sure to
Hold
bring your
on. Let
A
me
game
make
because
sure I hit
we're
the
gonna
record button. Hitting the record button. 1 second.
be.
Okay. Continue on. Continue
Yeah,
on.
yeah. And then also kickball and if it's flag football or other games that we have out there, right? We're just here to have a good time and it's a space really to invite in what we enjoy doing. For those of you who are artists, creatives, bring your artistry by the hand or by your voice. So, all of it is welcomed here. So, um, going back to the question, what excites me most? Really, I get to do all the things I enjoy doing. I enjoy learning from other creators. I'm not the best, artist by hand, but I know what great art looks like. And so I tend to be like,
Okay.
oh, wait, you can draw or paint really well. Cool. I get to learn from you and some of your skill sets and vice versa. So it's really the information exchange that takes place, the campfire conversations, obviously the game. So, the kickball, just let y'all know, you might want to get on my team if you're trying to win.
Oh, there
Just
he goes
letting y'all
again.
know,
Are you
letting y'all
an
know
artist or a
early.
kickball player?
Letting
Put
y'all
artist
know
or
early.
kickball in the chat.
Don't
I
let the
want to see
glasses fool you now,
who else who else is got that same kind of vibrato that he's got over there.
Hey, this is team win over here, right? So, but don't worry if you don't win, we're not giving out participation awards either. So you're just a loser, okay? Hey, listen, that's important. Sometimes you just gotta learn how to
That's what
deal
they
and
said. I
cope with
said all
loss,
the
right? It's
winners
like,
get to eat.
okay, I
No, no,
lost.
no,
It's like,
Peter.
what can I learn? What can I do better next time? And so having a space to experience challenges, but then how can you overcome it, right? And so that's what I appreciate about the space, knowing that we're gonna have a spoken word, even a rap freestyle, right? It's like there's a lot of talent that's around us, but unless that space is created for the talent to show itself, you may not ever know it exists. Right. With Shanta, you
Yeah.
mentioning with me, like, oh, I didn't know that you did all these things or you had a goal of 52 new hikes this year. Right. So it's like, yeah, if you don't ask me, I had no reason just to invite the information there. I mean, I don't mind talking about myself all the time, but if people are not listening, and I'm like, I don't care to share.
Ah, well, I gotta go too. You want to know what my goal
Yeah. What
is?
you got?
My goal is to raise money for this camp empowerment series.
Can we
So
show them what the can we share your screen and show them what this
yes,
this
we
page
sure
looks like? Let them
can.
know what the
Let's see.
$75 is. There's 200 with the full scholar. Let's show them what else because you did too much great work for the audience not to see. Like, yeah, I'm sure they want to see. I see TJ saying they're gonna love it. It's like, what are they gonna love? Let's go ahead and show them what it looks like. And while Shantae's
They
working on
will.
that, yeah, a couple of other things that I'm looking forward to, right? Like I know we have some different games going on. We're also going to have the youth. They're going to prepare lunch, right, and do some tent setup. So my first time setting up a tent as an adult was also in 2020. I failed dramatically. I started around like 3 o'clock in the day, and I thought it was all set up, and I didn't put the stakes into the ground. And so at nighttime, like my whole tent, like, collapsed and like flew away and it was dark outside, y'all. So, um, but again, these aspects of when you fail at something, you just get another opportunity to figure it out. And because I wanted to sleep inside of my tent that night, I used my phone flashlight, right? And I just had to turn it on, had to go figure everything out. But listen, I best believe that never happened again. So I was able to get my
Well,
tent set up.
before,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say, I think I have a delay on my end, so if I'm talking over you, my
Yeah, no
apologies.
worries. No worries.
But I wanted to show before I go into the boys, let me show you what we did for the girls. Let me know if
This
you
is
can see the
awesome.
screen.
I can. It is small, but maybe that's just me. There you go.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Well, maybe you just might need to let it low for like let it buffer and low for a second, and we can just keep on sharing because this right now you're getting ready to show them the what is this Camp Empower Her?
So this was the Camp Empower Her, and then the accompanying event would be the Camp Empower
Okay.
Him. So if it buffers and my network allow it to play, we will show. Otherwise, I'm going to go to Give Butter so you can see what we mapped out there too.
Yeah, maybe you can just let it continue to buffer, like pause it and just let it load in the background. And while you're showing Give Butter, you can come back to it and then hopefully it's finished loading and then you can show the video then.
Yeah, I
And
think
those of
it's
you who are in the
something wrong with
chat,
my connection
feel free to drop
because
any
I
of your
can't even type.
questions and let us know y'all what y'all want to know. And while you're doing that, Shante, I'm gonna open this coconut up. I've been waiting on this.
Okay, so here we are. Let's see if we can. I wonder if the Give Butter has a better streaming. Let's see what they're doing over here for Camp Empower Him.
So just so you know, Shante, I still see that it's buffering for the video. Maybe you need to
You still
switch to
see?
sharing the tab. That's the givebutter.com. Okay,
What do
there
you
you go. I see it.
see now?
I can. Perfect.
But I still think my bandwidth is bad. So I am going to move to the donate. I wanted you to hear from the chief since that's buffering. But one of the things that Yusuf is really good about is advocating for the resources that are needed to facilitate these type of programs. I'm going to tell you, we're going to accept any dollar amount. But I know a lot of times people want to see the direct impact their money will bring. So don't let any of this amount discourage you. But yes, I'll accept that $1,000. But the $95 gets the meals, the snacks, the s'mores. Kids have extra. They're going to be able to do cooking on the campfire conversation. Well, so that's going to cover their meals for the weekend. The $200, their shelter and gear, so that's their tents, rated sleeping bags, because it's going to be November 15th. So that weather in Georgia going to be pretty tricky. So we want to make sure we're equipping them the best we can, and we don't want to get anybody sick. So we're going to have the thermal insulated rated sleeping bags. They will have air mattress to accompany that. They will have chairs. They will have the tent, and also we'll have like miscellaneous like ponchos in case the weather decides not to come. And then we never know the conditions that these kids are in or resources they may or may not have. So what we can are our winter gear. So coats, sweaters, hats. So we've been stocking that up just in case we have some kids that show up that are not prepared. But every kid will definitely get a commemorative type sweatshirt that'll be rocked out for their participation. So we're excited about that. That stuff costs money. So when I listed all these other things, like ability to use the sketching pads, to be able to paint on the canvas, to record their or work on their rap lyrics, to do the fresh bases, the tie to ties. We're going to have men showing them how to tie ties. They're going to be able to get haircuts. They're going to get a lot of different things. And so if you're wanting to provide that entire experience, so we're asking dollars to be able to do that. And then $1,000 that'll make you a champion sponsor. That allows you to, one, facilitate for two kids, and also any incidentals that we may have. Lots of things that come up. I don't think people recognize that we take care of, like we hire private security. We have to pay for the property that we're at.
Yeah, pay for the property that we're at, right? Any small incidentals like supplies that are needed to make things happen. All this is important to make sure the event flows with ease. And I don't know if y'all know, anytime I host or throw an event, it's always about 500 little things that I never thought about that's needed, such as like cooking utensils or um, anything, right? So I always say it's best to have more than less and to be able to support as needed. So I think Shantae might have had dropped for a second, but don't worry, y'all. I'm still here. I did want to show some of the tools, right? So I'm not sure who's slept in the camping bag before or sleeping bag, right? So there's all these different variations of it. And what you'll see is that they're temperature rated. So there's sleeping bags that are better for warm weather conditions. That maybe like the 40s, 50 degrees at night, maybe even 60 degrees at night. And there's some, such as this one, that is rated for below freezing, right? And so since it's November time frame, November 15th, and right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, the temperature range could be as low as like the 20s and the low of 30s, right? So in order to provide a easeful experience, we provided a suggested packing list for both the young men or the kids as well as the adults. That way you can just be the the most comfortable throughout your experience. So if you need any more information about that, definitely be sure to click on the link or just either DM myself or Melanated Campout, and we'll be sure to get you the details. So that way you can support as you feel called to or just at least know what's involved with the situation as well. But yeah, while Shantae is getting back online, do you want to just go ahead and throw back out to those who are you are in the chat? What questions do you have for us or have for me? The question that Shantae asked before she dropped off was, "What excites me about the event?" It's really all of it. Anytime I get a chance to be outdoors, to go camping, to explore somewhere new, I'm always learning something new, right? If it either is from a young man, another mentor, some of the camp coaches that will be out there, like learning their walks of life. But we have one shared common purpose, and that's just camping and being outdoors. And so I always enjoy doing the things that I love, and to see others doing the things that they love, and we can meet in that same circles, like, come on now, give me more of that. Give me more of that. Uh, Welcome back, Shantae.
I just wanted to see if you were a good mentor or not, if you could carry on. It looks like you were great at that. So look,
Listen,
something else
with
I learned
ease,
about you.
with ease. We just passing the rock back and forth over here.
Well, no, I know your greatness. I understand that you are a man that can lead. So all joke aside, I appreciate you for taking the lead on that. Appreciate you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I'll just drop it in, continue to share the reasons of what I enjoy most about this experience and what I'm looking forward to for this weekend of empowerment.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to too. And so when I tell people I tap certain men to be a part of this experience, I was very intentional in how I made those selections. Because I wanted these kids to be able to see a diverse group of men by their own rights or have achieved some level of success in their lives. And many have come from various backgrounds. Some of them have been in jail. And to be able to say that when I say that you are not your circumstance, you are not your past mistakes, that as long as you're still breathing, corrective actions and a prosperous future is always attainable. And I want them to be able to see that in the men and and to be reflected in the energy of the men that's there. And so when I tell you we have business owners, we have people who went to college, people who didn't go to college, people who have been in jail, people who are not never been in jail, people who come from single family homes, people who were in the foster system and aged out of the foster system and was homeless. and still made careers out of it. So like when they get to see that these men um, that I love dearly and adore in their journey, but more importantly, that I can have a conversation with this man because one, he's breaking bread with me. Two, he's acting like a kid with me on this kickball field. Three, he's picking up a paintbrush and he's never painted. And maybe this kid can show him some paint strokes because this mentor hasn't painted. So when I think about the mutual exchange of gifts, the mutual exchange of great energy. Um, I think too, the mentors are probably going to get a lot out of this as well. This is for the kids, but suffice to say, I think sometimes when we realize that we have a bigger purpose, and when we're able to share our gifts with others, I think it gives us some intrinsic value, some really cool experiences. So I'm excited for the men mentors too. And I'm gonna be in the background. I'm gonna have binoculars because I want to try to keep the feminine energy out of the space for the most part. I'm gonna be looking through binoculars and see like what's happening because I'm so curious. But chalk it up to my curiosity. But I know we have a great team in place. It's evident through the volunteer calls, the preparatory calls that we've had. The DeKalb County, shout out to DeKalb County juvenile court system team who embraced Kayla and I and took us down to the court and let us know what rehabilitative type services they have, how cohesive the team is down there. Like when I was looking through the tour, brought us in this conference room. I was a little intimidated because you're at the courthouse in a conference room. But when the team got in there, it was just so much positive energy and just listening to how we're expressing themselves and expressing and then like I was showing them the activity up and they weighed in on it. Some of those gentlemen had never been camping as well. So just seeing the look of fear and the look of and for others the look of glee that they're getting this opportunity to do that. And so I'm excited. I'm excited that we are able to orchestrate this. I'm excited that we have so many men. When I tell you every man that I picked up the phone and asked to be part of it said yes. Shout out to my network of amazing men saying yes. And what we need though is we want to continue this journey. So we're going to see this camp empowerment. You're going to hear us push that. Our ultimate is 30,000. I want to continue to pour into our youth. First up in this camp empowerment series is it was the girls first, so now we're into the boys. And like I said, we're not just taking them camping; we are pouring into them. They're going to get life skills. Each of the mentors and lead facilitators will have learning objectives, but they won't be lecture style. They'll be the kind where you just organically kind of talk in conversation, but just to make sure the kids know that there's something to be learned in having patience with fishing and learning how to have the peace and tenacity and to be able to be coached into learning how to fend for themselves. So I like that concept. I love the concept of their being able to express themselves. Our community, sometimes kids in our community don't always feel like it's okay to be an artist. It's okay for me to write my feelings down in a journal, especially when you have a lot of bottled up emotion. So I just think it's super cool that we have this curriculum that is more fun based with some really cool guys that are fun based. Like every guy that I know are very competitive. So it's going to be interesting with these kids because these men are not going to let any kid win these games. So I'm gonna have to make sure the kids get a pep talk before like, hey, don't let these grown men, these old grown men beat y'all out here because they ain't gonna take no mercy. So I'm gonna tell the kids they shouldn't take no mercy either. But just super excited. I'm super excited of the direction this is going. I'm super excited for the people who have given so far. We've raised over $5,000 so far towards that goal. I think that's roughly around 18%. So and I saw a check. Someone actually mailed me A check. So I just got a check today
I'm
to
talking
my
about.
home. So one, how y'all know where I live. Two, thank you for the check.
Shout
Appreciate
out
it.
to our elders who still writing checks, because I know an elder who had provided a check. Okay.
Right on, right on. I got a check written today. So I'm just shout out to that. So question to the audience. You are all hearing all this wonderful things that Yusuf has told you about himself, what we've told you about the camp. If you had to weigh in, what do you hope as an audience member? What do you hope that these boys get? Engage the chat back since.
Yeah.
Anybody want to weigh in what they would like this for these boys to a big takeaway for these boys?
And as the chat, as everyone's thinking, contemplating that question, and maybe you can put that question in the chat as well in case they might have missed it or they need to be repeated. But do you know how many first time campers will be at the event? Do you have an idea of that?
I do not know that answer. I do know it amongst the staff that's coming from the cab system. There's only 2 campers that are coming. So all the other staff from that perspective, the kids, I don't know that. So we'll find that as part of the icebreaker experience once they get there. But what's cool about this is they have to earn their sleep, right? They earn their sleep by putting up their tent. So they're gonna be broken up into mini groups to set up their tents. They will be facilitated, and of course, as always, we'll like to infuse and sprinkle in some life lessons in when they're doing that. So, but yeah, we'll find out that answer, Yusuf, when they
Okay.
get there as part of the icebreaker.
I like how you said they got to earn their sleep. I think when it gets down to 30 degrees at night and they might be like shivering, that might be another way of earning the sleep as well. And listen, I share that
You
to say
gotta
'cause that's
make sure
also part of the
we
experience,
come.
right?
It is part of the experience, but I'm also a mama bear. I don't have kids, but I'm still a mama bear, and I'm gonna make sure boys ain't cold out there. Well,
No, listen,
actually,
we're gonna make sure that we got them good sleeping bags, right, that are temperature rated. And so one
right.
thing I like to share is like I go camping at all times of the year. And so having the proper gear is essential. Because when I'm in the sighted sleeping bag, listen, it's like I'm just back all cozy. It's almost like having a weighted bed sheet on, but just feeling that warmth inside of it. It's like I sleep very well in the cold weather by having the proper gear. And so, you know, but there is an aspect when it does drop to 30 degrees or 40 degrees where it could feel uncomfortable. But I always say there's medicine in that. There's medicine in being uncomfortable, hearing the sounds of the night, and maybe not know where it's coming from, but also knowing that, okay, I'm going to be all right. So I definitely believe in the experience of earning your sleep. Because if you haven't done it before, it's a new experience for you. Yet when you wake up in the next day and you realize, like, wow, I did that, right? There's a some form of gratification that could take place. That knowing that you made it through, and maybe all the beliefs you may have had about, is that a bear, is that a snake, is that a raccoon, whatever animals you thought you heard, realizing it's just probably your neighbor walking to use a restroom, right? All the
Yeah.
different things that are out there, but it's going to be a phenomenal time. um, there you go. Is that your sleeping bag right there? I
Well,
love it.
this is it's not mine. I actually have a different kind of sleeping bag, but this is one that was donated to us. Um, so I am going to test because we wanted to know if we're going to buy the bulk of them like this. So I'm actually going to test this out this weekend. So Shantae will sleep outside. I think either I don't know if I'm gonna do it Friday night or Saturday on the day that the cold front comes. Right. So we're gonna see how good this sleeping bag. And I'm not putting up a tent. I'm gonna put it up in on my hammock. So we're gonna see how good this sleeping bag is.
Okay. Oh, so you're gonna go to hammock style and on a
I'm gonna
tent.
do
Okay.
hammock style.
Okay.
Well, that'd be the true test. If I'm warm in the hammock, then I know they'll be warm enough in the tent. So
Yeah, it's the same weather pretty much. I mean, the only difference is that the wind blowing and there's maybe some shielding from the wind, but it's pretty much the same thing.
so we're gonna see. And then, like I said, like we're very intentional how we move. We test things out. We make sure because if this is not the right rating, because I couldn't see what this was rated, so I'm gonna have to ask the person who donated what the temperature rating for this sleeping bag is.
Okay.
I think the one I had, my personal one, is for 40 degrees. but
Okay, very
I'm
good.
not sure what this is rated. Get the deep person who did some of the donations. If we have to pivot and get a different sleeping bag, we'll do that. Um, we've already talked about configurations of the tents to kind of help create a kind of barrier, and where the fire pit would be. Who's going to keep up fire watch so we can keep the fire safe and keep things warm. So I think we're ready. I think it's going to be great. I don't think, I know it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's for sure going to be a blast, regardless of what takes place. There's a couple of folks who responded in the chat. We have Nicole who stated that she wants everyone to know that the young men or the boys that they know that they matter. Okay, definitely. Everyone, all the young men definitely matter, and I believe just with the engagement is a form of knowing that you matter, like the presence, um, patience, and providing space for them to share is a form of reflection that yes, you matter, and we care about what you have to bring and offer. And then Jocelyn also says, "Hope the boys know that they are loved by a whole community." Do they get a one of those T-shirts that say "You found your tribe"? Because let me stop talking. I might be offering.
Don't
Let
be
them know
telling
they need to
all the
keep donating.
secrets. They are getting some swag.
Okay,
We're definitely going to be providing some swag. They'll get some swag.
okay,
I'm
awesome.
even trying to make sure they have an easy to use fiction reel. So,
Yeah,
yeah, we're just gonna they're gonna get some swag stuff. We're gonna swag them out. They won't be t-shirts. We're thinking more hoodies.
there you go. That's
Make
probably
them
better
warm.
for the evening time. Good, awesome.
So like they're gonna be swagged out. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So my pledge to you all is I will love, love, love by tomorrow if we can raise $500 by tomorrow. So in order to do that, I tell everybody if you can share the give button link. You can always find it with this live. You can find it on my personal, find it on the Melanated Campout page. Um, it's givebutter.com backslash camp empower him, but it's we'll post it everywhere. We're just asking you to share it. These boys, thank you. I see it was posted in the text thread. We are just super excited to give these boys not only experiences and stuff to take home with them. Like that's big too. Like when I tell you we have an amazing team of ladies in the back end that from execution plans to contingency plans to how to set the scene and vibe. Like, what does it look like when they first arrive? How are we going to welcome them? When I say we, the men, but how is the welcome going to happen? What kind of vibe is going to be set? What kind of music is going to be played? There's lots of attention to detail that goes in, and I have an amazing team that continues to exceed every expectation I could ever have. And so, like I said, the only thing I need is your prayers and your wallet. So any kind of coins you could give us. $75 help sponsor meals. If you throw in an extra $200, that'll help us take care of some of the activities. 400 will give them the entire experience, their swag gear, extra clothes, warmth clothes, stuff that they can take home with them, their hygiene kits. Um, so, and if you decide to be the big baller, and thank you to Cindy, that I saw Cindy donated $1,000. So thank you, Cindy, for that. And I think it was in honor of her daughter. So thank you for that amazing donation. Yeah, like we're just happy. We do what we do because we know our community. In our community, it takes the entire village. We can't just say it takes a village and then have no village. So I am happy that my village is active. I'm active that my village is generous. The thing I just need help with is in the marketing. Help us get the word out. Help us get the word out that what we're doing, and we want to grow this. So this, when we're talking about raising money for Camp Empowerment, this money isn't just for the Camp Empower Him. We're trying to grow this to a continuous experience. There'll be we even talked, some of the mentors are even talking about what kind of follow-up they can do past camp. So when we talk about doing these type activations and then what we can do on long for a longevity or beyond the camp. So I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm grateful. Yusuf, you have been super awesome, super amazing. Thank you for leading when my technology wouldn't allow me to be great, but I always can count on you to be great. You're always great. Any lasting words? Yusuf, let us know where we can find you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, definitely. If you see already, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Yusuf Yusuf Corley Corley. If you're on TikTok and YouTube, that is peace like peace dot embodied embodied. Or feel free to check out my website yusufcorley.com and shoot me a DM. Let me know how you found me or if you saw me through this link, and I'll be sure to get back to you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. And I will also drop his handles. It was in the live thing, but we will also continue to drop his handles. And then anybody that wants to sponsor food, any restaurants, please DM us, hit us up. You can always do info@melanatedcares.org, info@melanatedcampact.com. Shantae McClellan on Facebook, however you want to get to me. We're taking any type of donation sponsors, even if you have warm coats, anything that you may have that you want to donate. We need the funds. Funds is the most important, but we also need food, snacks, any of those kind of things. We do have an Amazon wish list that's embedded with that campaign. So as you read the campaign, scroll down after you see the chief speaking on behalf of DeKalb. You'll also see our mentors, a couple of our mentors highlighted, and ways that you can donate. So with that said, I'm going to sign off. Yusuf, thank you for always answering the call and always saying yes. Thank you, Mr. Earth.
Listen, I'm letting folks know that I always say yes. I have a finance background, and no is actually my favorite word. So just know if you're receiving this gift of a yes, because I'm doing all the things that I enjoy doing. So I'm grateful to be a part of the experience, grateful to support in the ways of showing up as a volunteer, a mentor, and ultimately playing. Like this fulfills my heart, and now I get to pour into others as well. So thank you for Melanated Campout, Melanated Cares, all those who've already donated thus far. And again, we're 18% of the way of reaching our goal of 30,000. Any contribution helps and supports. Or if you even know someone who might be able to donate services such as a haircut, feel free to let info@melanatedcares.org know how you can be or contribute. And we'll be sure to take care of the young men who show up on the 15th. Thank you so much.
You're amazing. And thank you for all of our supporters. Y'all have a great night. Let's hit that 500 tonight and 2,000 by the end of the week. Thank you, everyone. Love y'all. Bye.
All right. Peace.